Hey, welcome back to another episode of Radio 22's Talk 22. The show hosted by me, your boy Mizzle to the Jizzle. We back yet again, bringing you the conversations that you want to talk about, and we bring it to you with none but the real. I appreciate everybody coming back, joining us after our deep conversation that we had on that Derek Chauvin trial. You know, there was so many different things that went on with that trial. You know, now we're hearing that he might even possibly get a new trial with his lawyer throwing different stuff out there and petitioning the court based off of what went on in his trial. But, you know, we feel like, you know, the justice, I don't know if there was justice there because there's still a man dead and another black man dead. And we see that way too often. And we just, you know, we have to talk about it to try to figure out some way to eliminate these type of things from happening. So I appreciate all y'all for coming to join us in that conversation. But as we do, we're proceeding on with the new conversation. And, you know, this new conversation, you know, we just seen so much went on in March. We had the March Madness. Just last weekend, we had the NFL draft, which was quite a big thing. We're hearing some conversations, those of us in the Wisconsin area, about Aaron Rodgers. We're going to speak on it. But, you know, a lot going on in that situation. Hopefully they figure it all out. But, you know, as we look at sports and sports today, we also saw that there was a law passed in what I believe was Arkansas area in the state of Arkansas, where they petitioned to have a law passed banning transgenders from competing in sports, which, you know, had some people speak on it, you know, one being Caitlyn Jenner, and some other people spoke on it as well. But, you know, we're going to kind of see what you feel about it as well. And with that conversation, I got, you know, some of my heavy hitters like I always do. Out of the Tennessee area, I got coming back to the show, my homegirl, Michelle. Can you say unmute your mic and say what's up to the people, please?
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Hey, Chuck. Michelle, thank you for joining the program once again. Can you kind of let the people know some of the things that you work on? Is you like in sports yourself, right?
Let's see here. So I currently coach soccer, youth soccer, in the Tennessee area, specifically Chattanooga, from kids as small as 3 up to as old as 14, boys and girls, recreational and competitive.
That's outstanding. We need good coaching out there in the field, and we appreciate you for joining the program. Also in the program, coming back to the show, out of the Iowa area, we got the homeboy Larry. Can you say what's up to the people, please?
Hello, hello, blessings, blessings.
Thank you for joining the program once again, Larry. Can you let the people know where your area of expertise and background is?
Background in mental health. So I'm a licensed mental health counselor serving Iowa, Wisconsin area. I'll be traveling out to Illinois eventually, but right now, those are areas that I'm sort of providing mental health in. Working on. We've got an excellent initiative for Black men in the Wisconsin area, particularly the Madison, Wisconsin area, providing mental health for Black men. That's the initiative that's being taken through this year. I believe Aaron Gabriel Perry, who's leading a major initiative in the Madison area with regards to men's wellness. I'm participating in that initiative, providing the mental health aspect to that. Got 2 books coming out this year, one on parenting and one on relationship counseling. So those are some other projects. The project that I'm interested in later on this year is black male trauma. So I'm interested in that topic as it relates to my current engagement in the community, or going particularly as it relates to this project between me and Gabriel Perry. So, yeah.
Okay, that's what's up. Well, thank you for joining the program again, Larry.
Yep.
Also, out of the Milwaukee area, we got the homeboy, Mr. Cheddar State, is in the building. Can you let them know where they can find you, Mr. Cheddar State? Please unmute your mic, please.
What's up, everybody?
Hey! Can you let people know
you Mizzle Jizzle? Always a pleasure.
You work in sports? Can you let them know what kind of sports activities you work in?
Well, we'll say AAU level basketball. I work in it for free because I don't charge at all. I do sports media, those kind of things as well. Follow sports, talk to a lot of great sports legends that we would all love to know. I'm lucky enough to meet them and know them and stuff. So that's my sports background. You can catch me at Cheddar State, at Mr. Cheddar State, and say everything we do. We cover some sports. And yeah, it's a sad week for Aaron Rodgers conversations. We're not going to have no bad talk today about Aaron Rodgers. That's right. It's hurtful right now.
As we move on, thank you for joining the program. We got also, last but not least, you've seen him many times, the homie Bang. Bang, can you unmute your mic and say what's up?
What's going on?
Hey, Bang, you let the people know what you're working on these days?
So still pushing the quarantine. Check that out. Has a lot to do with my experience through the coronavirus. I got tax season coming out. Gonna be pushing I Do with my homie K Sankofa. I got a whole lot of more music, to be dropping. So just stay in tune, hit me up on the website, to just stay in tune with what I got going on.
Thank you. Well, thank you for joining the program, Bang, once again. All right, so we're gonna just get in right into it. I'm gonna start off, ladies first. I'm gonna go with you, Michelle. I want to ask, we're looking at this situation with the transgender situation in sports, and I want to ask, starting with ladies first, I'm gonna ask you, should transgender people be allowed to compete in sports?
Whew. Okay, one.
We're going in deep.
Yeah, you hit it right. Right away. Right. Let's not ease into this at all. Right. No fluffer questions.
Nope.
Short answer: yes, they should.
Okay.
And we're talking about high school sports, like schools. We're talking about recreational, like outside of school, right?
Mm-hmm.
And competitive, right? Like, in all of those. Right. It should be allowed, right? Because if it's allowed in one, it should be allowed in the others, right? I really don't show me some data where it's a problem. What is it destroying? What could it potentially do harm to?
Okay.
Show me some numbers. So yes, I think they should.
Okay, we respect your opinion, and thank you for that, Michelle. I'm gonna go next to the homie Bang. Bang, let's get your perspective on that. Caitlyn Jenner looked at it and said that, her being transgender herself, stated she doesn't believe that transgender people should be allowed to compete in sports. Do you agree with Michelle? Or do you agree with, Caitlyn Jenner, I guess?
All right, so this is how I feel about it. I don't like the idea of just actually banning people from anything because it is discriminative. However, there isn't enough evidence out there. But I did find some. And actually, Idaho did ban transgenders from competing with the women. Idaho actually did it. So I found one study on an Air Force military base. And I'm going to read to you real quick what I found. That 3 physicians conducted a retrospective review of medical records and fitness tests for 29 transgender men and 46 transgender women from 2013 to 2018. The assessment includes push-ups and sit-ups within a minute and a runtime and the time required to run 1.5 miles. So for the first 2 years after starting hormones, the trans women in their review were able to do 10% more push-ups and 6% more sit-ups than their cisgender female. And after 2 years, they reported that it was fairly equivalent. Now, however, to compete in the Olympics, trans women testosterone level has to be under 10 nanomoles per liter. Now, in a adult average woman has 1 to 3, so they will still have an advantage. So, what's the real answer? It's the testosterone is one factor, they will have more testosterone than the women, so that will actually give them an advantage. I mean, if they could find a way to make it fair, which I think that they should, so it can be fair for them, then yeah. But if they have a clear advantage, then no.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I respect your opinion on that, Bang. I appreciate you with looking up the data as well. Okay, Larry, we want to go to you next, LJ here. LJ, I gotta ask you, same question. We're looking at transgender people and want to know, with them competing in sports, these are people who feel like they were born in a body that they don't belong in, and with them making their change, which they definitely have the right to make that change. Do you feel like they negate their rights to then compete once they make that change?
Really mute here. It's the question, Beck. The question that really is there a physical difference between a man and a woman? I mean, when we start asking these questions here, let's just talk about some root difference, you don't need a lot of data and research to really look into. It's just facts. Is there a physical difference between an average man and a woman? Yes. It's like, and when we talk about those things, it's like asking Superman to play sports. We have kids who are, I guess in some regards, if there are rules with regards to the physical advantage that a transgender may have over their competitors, as it relates to someone being more physical, physically athletic in general, which on average men are in comparison to women, right? It's like give me a LeBron James comparison. I'll wait. Like you don't need enough data. You don't need a lot of data to say we don't know a LeBron James equivalent in a female form. We just don't. Now I'm not speaking against women or women in sports. I think that, but it's just we just have to admit that there's a physical difference between a man and a woman. You have a kid who develops over the good portion of their childhood, as a man, and then decides that they want to be a woman, for example. Well, they still, regardless of whether they have that change or not, they still have that oomph in them to make them more competitive in general. That's my personal opinion. So,
okay.
So the answer to the question, and long story short, is just absolutely not. I think we teeter a little bit. We definitely don't want to be discriminative, but if we'd allow those things to happen, we must look at the data. That's a great point. We must take really strong looks at the data to make sure that when transgender individuals compete in these sports, that they don't have a physical competitive advantage that is, unfortunately in the body that the good Lord gave them. So, that's my answer. Long story
okay.
short. Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. We respect your opinion on that. All right. Last but not least, I need to hear the perspective and opinion on Mr. Chatterstate on this same topic. I need to know from your perspective. You work with a lot of great athletes, coming up through the ranks, and I want to know from what you see. Do you believe that if there's an athlete who is transgender, do you believe they should be allowed to compete in sports?
I'm gonna say respect to all the answer we already had, but I'm gonna answer this question quickly. Do you guys know who Brittany Griner is?
Yes.
WNBA player, right?
Yes.
Do you think that she could score on Pat Connaughton?
Of course she can.
Dog. She's a woman, right? And she can score on an NBA player. So we got to say something. Can women play with men? Yeah, they can. We just don't want to say that some of the men, see, every response.
Okay. I think he froze up there for a sec.
I froze up.
Yeah, okay.
I freeze up? Am I unfrozen?
Yep, go ahead.
Am I unfrozen now?
You're unfrozen.
All right, good. There you go. Thaw it out. Anyway, so what I'm saying is I think some of the men who don't want the contact in the sports that they play need to
Oh wow. Okay. I think that it was too hot for TV. They had to take him off screen.
Yeah, he was
All
making
right.
a strong point too. He was on point too. I was like, oh, okay, let me put a link in here to what he was saying. He was making.
He was about to
back
get
yet,
into
bro.
it.
Yeah, it was too hot for
Is my
TV.
Wi-Fi that bad?
It was too hot for TV.
Still out?
Yeah, he's still out. Let's ask you. Let's get to the next question here.
Go
Bang.
out and come back in.
I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try. Hold on.
All right, Bang. I'm gonna go to you. The next question here is, okay? So, I guess what the fellas here are kind of saying is, do we believe that women could be competitive in sports against men? So I'm gonna go to you, Bang, and ask you that question.
Could they be competitive in a physical sport against a man?
Yes. Like let's say there is no male and women sports. It's just sport. It's just basketball. It's just soccer. It's just tennis. It's just swimming. There's no women swimming, men swimming, no men's basketball, women's basketball, what have you. It's just everybody, whoever's the best is playing. Do you believe that women could be competitive in sports leagues that played with men?
Maybe in some sports, but I mean, if you think about the best sports, you know what I'm saying, the top sports like basketball, football, and baseball, I don't really think so. I mean, I think that it will be interesting to watch. You know what I'm saying? I will watch it, but at the same time, I don't think they will be as dominant. You know what I'm saying, against a man in a physical sport.
Wow.
You know, so could they compete? I mean, yeah. I mean, it's not like, you know, if a woman was in the NBA, she wouldn't score no points. You know what I'm saying? 0-0-0 across the board. You know what I'm saying? I mean, of course they could compete. You know, women are very aggressive. You know what I'm saying? And they, you know, I mean, they ain't weak at all. You know what I'm saying? I feel like a woman would most definitely give her all, but at the same time, she's at a disadvantage physically. You know what I'm saying? Comparing, you know, going against a man in an actual physical sport. I feel like it's just best to keep them separated.
Okay.
It's more entertaining, you know what I'm saying, to see the women compete against the women and the men compete against the men. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think people will watch it, you know what I'm saying, if it, you know, for like an all-star weekend or something like that. People will watch it, but I mean, would you really watch an entire season? You know what I'm saying? I mean, like my man just brought up LeBron James. I mean, he dunking on grown men. I mean, you got guys like Shaq, you know what I'm saying, 300-some pounds, Jordan, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it wouldn't be as entertaining, especially if, you know what I'm saying, the women, you know what I'm saying, can't compete as well with the men, you know what I'm saying? It really wouldn't be as entertaining to watch. I mean, I really wouldn't want to see a woman just, you know what I'm saying, not being able to compete, you know what I'm saying? So for it to be competitive and entertaining, I think that it should just be separate.
Okay. Tashelle, I can see you want to speak on it, but before you do, let me get to Larry here and get his comment first and see what he got to say to that subject. You know, you spoke on LeBron James and said, what's the equivalent? You know, some might say, you know, somebody like Serena Williams is just as dominant in her sport, you know, but I mean, that's just, some might say that. Yeah, but my question to you is, if there was, you know, no men or women sports, it's just athletes, do you feel that women could compete on the same levels?
Yes. Yeah. I'm, you know, when we talk about competition, I think that's a broad spectrum. You know, when we look at the NBA or we look at the highest level of sports, that's the highest level of competition. So I got to double back a little bit. I do think that in a general sense that like boys and girls, you know, at a certain level can come in and compete with one another, and based off of the spectrum of talent that is present, which is a broad range, I would imagine that there would be some female competitors that would be more competitive than some of the their male counterparts, you know, in the same sports. Like I could see that. I can see that happen. I think that's what the other individual was trying to make a point to. I could see that. But if you're talking about to compete at high levels, I may disagree. So I might have to double back on that. I think that I might double back on that a little bit. Let's double back and keep a very open mind, because there's some individuals that go into sports and they're women who clearly have more talent, you know, than men, and can compete on maybe not the top level, but definitely, you know, be competitive. You know,
okay.
So I double back on that a little bit.
All right, Trishelle, we finally gonna get your opinion on this now. You know, we look at it, you know, remind me, the men's US team for soccer, did they make it to the World Cup?
No.
No, I don't think they did, but the women did though, right?
So the men's team they didn't qualify for the Olympics either. So it's been 3 times for them not competing in a World Cup or Olympics.
Okay, but the women are very competitive.
And the women's team sits comfortably in the top 5 of the world for the last 12 years, right? Do
you think the women could play with the men?
Do I think those women could play with the men? Yes, right? Okay. I mean, we talk about different levels of competition, right? A lot of times in youth sports, right, because of numbers, we just lump the kids together, right? We just play co-ed all the way, like I played co-ed sports till 7th, 8th grade, right? Nothing wrong with that. Was I an all-star? No. Did I compete and try hard? Yes, I did, right? And even when I moved to just playing against girls, right, it wasn't like all of a sudden I was a dominant athlete because I had been playing against boys for so long, right? But like each individual is different, right? And there are some women that are not just superior athletes, but their technique and their skill also helps them, right, in competing. So could some women from the WNBA be successful in the NBA? Sure, they could, right? Could some women that run track and play soccer compete on the other side? Yes. Softball, right? If we had a more dominant or popular professional softball league for women, some of those women play baseball? Sure, right? You just can't whitewash, right, those types of, I guess, participation, right? It's, I mean, natural humans, right? Your bodies and your psyche adapts to whatever environment you're put in, right? And so long as you're in an environment that's conducive, that you get the good equipment, right? You get the good coaches, so your technique is getting better, right? You're training harder, you're working your body better, you're feeding your body better, right? You're being paid enough money to where you can live and hone on your craft instead of having to have another job to survive, right? And you can focus on being an athlete. Yes, you can compete better. I'm not saying that women would, right? Come in and dominate in sports. No, but given the proper tools, could they compete? Yes, they could.
Okay, we respect that. Thank you for speaking on it, Michelle. Mr. Cheddar State, welcome back. We want to get your opinion on that as well. You know, some will say that, you know, we should just cut out all the problem is that we have men and women's sports, and that we should just cut that all out and just say it's just basketball, it's just tennis, it's just baseball, whatever, and not even have men and women. Do you feel like women could physically legit play in the same sports with men and be competitive?
The ones without defense, yeah. Right. What's her name? Caitlin.
Yeah.
She didn't play when she was in the Olympics.
Yeah.
She ain't had no defense against what she was doing, right?
True.
Right. So track ain't got defense. Do you want to see? I mean, you might want to see it. Do you want to see a woman running back go against a 6'9" defensive end man and get hit full speed? Nope. I mean, if you want to see it, it's fine. But I don't want to see that. I don't want to see Mike Tyson fight a woman. I might want to see Jake Paul fight a woman because he might lose. Fuck Jake Paul. But everybody else, I'm not with that. But I say this: you have the right to get in the ring, dog. Like before, my internet got all funny and embarrassed the hell out of me. I paid the bill, man. I'm right by the modem now. That is by the fireplace now. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is Brittany Griner is a better hooper than Pat Connaughton. But Pat Connaughton shouldn't be an NBA anyway. So if we say literally the best of the best, no.
You think Diana Taurasi could maybe cross up Carmelo Anthony?
Bro, I was at one of the top gyms last week with Marquette Hoopers in an open gym from 9th grade to 12th grade. The best two players are women, whooping hell out these soft sophomores and freshmen. And I'll take you there if you want to, and I'll show you it again. So I've seen women who are better skilled, more hard, beat men, right? So what the problem is that we think every man, we saying, can the elite woman beat an elite man? Mm-hmm. That's the question we got to say. Mm-hmm. Can a elite woman be the average dude who not playing hard? Hell yeah, all day. So you should let that woman, that elite woman, jump in the NBA. It's a tragedy that there's not been at least 10 women in the NBA. I can name you 10 dudes in the NBA that play like soft players who could be replaced by a tough girl. I guarantee you. There's some point guards who can't handle some defense that in the NBA right now. Dante DiVincenzo.
I'll leave my bucks
get his spot taken. And I own whitedante.com, so I'm hating myself right now. But anyway,
leave my bucks alone. All right, so we're gonna move on. All right, so with that being said, do we believe that? I guess is that what we're saying is that men are more competitive? Do we believe there's a situation where men have an advantage in sports to women? Is that what we're believing, Larry? We're gonna go to you. Do you believe that there's situations where men may have advantage over women in sports?
When you think about it broadly enough, I guess it depends on the sport. I guess it would depend on the sport. Like
jump rope.
Say again?
Jump rope.
There's a couple of variables that I might say in those circumstances that women could have a strong competitive advantage as far as skill set. If the advantage in the sport is based off of skill set and skill set alone, right? Or ability to outmaneuver mentally your competitor, but in the sports where there's more physicality, I'm having a hard time. I'm hard pressed to be persuaded that, and it's just because, I mean, just on average, men's bone density is thicker. Like men are just wired more physically proud than women. It's just in general. I mean, somebody can prove me wrong on that, but I think just men physically are just genetically stronger than women on average. I'm not saying that there's not stronger women than men. That's not what I'm implying. But I say if you take the average athlete on both categories, it's going to be dominated by the male athlete, depending on the physicality of the sport. Personal opinion. I could be wrong though. I'm subject to be correct.
Bone dust. He went physiology, huh? Okay. So I mean, I suppose if they so strong, men could have babies in, right? Michelle, is that what we're saying? I'm gonna go to you next. Michelle,
terrible.
I'm coming to you next, then, Michelle. I want to know: is there a category that you feel that women can have a competitive edge over men when it comes to competing? Can they run faster, jump higher? What is it?
I mean, yeah, like I said, I don't like to generalize. I guess, can some women run faster than some men? Sure they can. right? Can some women, I think, again, when it comes to skill development, right, and the mental game, right, in some sports, I think women are stronger in that aspect, right? I think their capacity, right, to absorb all the outside influences and be able to still compete and think technique wise in those events, I think in most cases surpass men, but that's really not measurable. So, I mean, do I think they can a woman and a man compete in the pool, right? Swimming, yes. Running cross country, yes. Sprinting, maybe not, right? Like jumping higher, like probably not, right? Like I agree, right, when it comes to the physics, right, and physical stature of most men versus most women, right? Like they're going to lose that edge, but brain wise, right, when it comes to that type of stuff in competition, I think that's where their advantage lies.
Oh,
smart. Not that men are smart, but we smart.
Oh, okay. Smarter. Okay. I appreciate your opinion and respect that. Bang, I'm going to come to you with another question here. I want to know, we look at situations. There was a group of brothers who joined up and, they went into the NBA, not same time, but consecutively. They called the Ball brothers. You may have seen them on TV. Their dad's pretty famous for being loud on the program, LeVar Ball. But he's famous for pushing his boys into coming up through the AAU programs and becoming, NBA players. Do you believe that if you had a group of daughters, do you believe that, you would encourage your daughters into being a professional athlete?
If that's what they wanted to do, hell yeah.
Why or why not?
And look, whatever my daughter want to be, I'm going to encourage her. I'm going to motivate her. I'm going to be right there with her. I'm going to inspire her. I'm going to be out there shooting ball with her. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to learn the game. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be right there with her. You know what I'm saying? So but it has to be what she wants to be. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to force her, you know what I'm saying, to learn how to dribble and learn how to shoot. You know what I'm saying? So she could be in the WNBA. You know what I'm saying? But if that's what she want to do, then of course I'm going to support. I'm going to support her to follow her dream and to be the best that she can be at that sport and be better than everybody else. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to be right there with her. Yeah. So if that's what she want to do, yeah, but I'm not going to force anything, you know what I'm saying, on my kids, period.
Okay. Respect that. Mr. Cheddar State, I want to ask you, we look at LeVar Ball and his situation with the Ball brothers there.
Legend.
Some would say, though, that he kind of pushed that situation to happen. And, right or wrong, he got it to happen. Would you still have that same feeling if you had all daughters and pushing them into sports?
Serena Venus.
True.
I wouldn't pick basketball. They ain't getting paid doing that. Well, we'll do Serena, we'll do tennis.
They ain't getting paid doing nothing.
So that's what I'm saying. Like I wouldn't pick basketball if I'm LeVar, but I'm picking a sport we can make some money off it, because you got to push. I don't care what your kid do. A person who's not gonna push, not gonna push. So I think that you can't fault. No one should fault. Anybody who faults LeVar Ball has an inner problem with their own intensity and responsibility and accountability towards their own goals. So if you got a father who wants to push you to do something, that's his job. That's what he's supposed to do, whether you a son or a daughter. So my two sons, they bust ass in the court. I ain't gonna talk about them on this thing because it's not about them. It's about me and us. Mm-hmm. So let's do this. But when they on the court, not playing. And if you go out there and you play soft, I'm in your face. And guess what? If I had a daughter doing that, same thing, bro. You can't be soft because of being soft and saying it's a woman, so be soft. That's wrong. That's wrong. I got nieces, they strong women. I don't like that at all. So yeah, if it's a woman, you raise her the same exact way as far as being aware of knowing what she should be able to do and being ready for any obstacle. So 100%, man.
Okay, respect that. All right, Larry, you deal with a lot of people who, on many different levels in your counseling days and whatnot. One of the things that Michelle said, is a strength of women, she believes, is their abilities to use their minds and their heads, and outthink certain situations.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe that women could be effective in leadership positions like coaching men's athletics?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if you look at the business world, I think the statistic is that the average female manager is far better than the average male manager when you look at corporate management, right? Right. So the idea that females can have the competitive mental advantage in any sport, I think that is a given there. And there's data that says that women are more competitive on a mental level across the board, no matter what it is, than a male. It's just, so, all right. Somebody get angry. Either he's getting who's that again? Either Cheddar State is very angry or I'm preaching.
I'm gonna need some mental health counseling after this. So let me get your number, Dr. Jackson.
I think it's anger.
So
I let the Packers pick a female coach. See what happens.
What you say?
He said, "Let the Packers
pick a female coach. See what happens."
Oh, you don't think they'd be competitive?
Bro, I'm be honest with you. I love this. Can we be real on this show?
Yes, please do.
All right, let me change the 10. All right, so listen up. I play sports.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah. Anybody else play sports on this podcast?
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else? Right? Was your coach nice to you, dog?
No, can't say they were.
Coaches were very mean to you, right? Right? Yep. And why did you listen to this person yelling at you? To be honest, though. Because you were scared of them a little bit. That's it.
Okay.
Now check this out. Replace that with a woman yelling at you. And you 17, you bench press 300. And you squat 400. And she's like, get on the line. It's not the same portion.
So
she can do it, but it would take a big deal, bro.
I vehemently disagree, and I can prove it in one statement. How many people got a mama?
As a coach?
True.
As a coach?
Dude, those coaches play father-like figures for those athletes. Let's be honest.
True.
They're not just the coaches that are the coaches that have the greatest influence on athletes. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Have a father-like disposition with those star athletes. Tell me I'm wrong about that.
Depends what level you're talking about. But you're right, though. No, you're right, but it stops a little bit when you get to the pros, but you are right. So John Thompson, the Temple coach, Cheney, I agree with you. I coach too, so I agree with you. I'll say that, yes, but what do they do tomorrow, though?
So a great coach, a great coach goes beyond the for these athletes that sometimes come from the most distressed type of environments, right? The stress type of circumstances. These coaches are representing more than just a coach that's just firing off the lips. They represent figures, right. Figure that's replacing or substituting something that they had formerly in their lives. Just think, right. And if you know anything about a mama's voice, she know when to be soft and nurturing, and she also know when to put that fire underneath your wings.
More than a dad.
I don't know.
More than a dad, though.
But it's not. Is
it more than a dad? A dad don't know how to be as nurturing as a mom.
Yeah,
and that's why ain't no nurturing in sports.
Yeah. Now that's not
no.
True.
Y'all don't coach, man. Y'all ain't been to a practice in months, if not years. I was at practice yesterday. Don't tell me nothing. Y'all want talking to the top D1 Coach Griner yesterday, bro.
Is it so because that's the only way to be competitive, or is
no? Because it's reality.
Time out. Is it so because that's the only way to be competitive in that type of structure, or is it because it's just a male-dominated sport? Just think about.
I'll answer that. Let me answer that.
Okay.
Let me answer that, please.
Good question.
I'll say this, and not just sports, right? Sometimes, as a man, bro, nobody cares about you. Nobody.
More than sometimes.
I'm just trying to be 100%. I got 3 boys, and I don't raise them with no lies. Okay? Was a man. Let your tire break on the side of the road and look like you need help. And see who stops for you, dog. Okay? So I'm gonna tell you right now, as a man who has a lot of players, I coach in Milwaukee, a lot of players where it's just the mom showing up. When I get players with the dad there, they don't break down as much. When I go at them with the reality of you not trying hard enough, you're not gonna win. You don't deserve to win. Now listen up. When I get the player who with the nice shoes, with the nice video games, dressed beautifully, the nice haircuts, who I'm gonna take him every game, his ass cry. His ass don't want to run. You know why? His ass don't. He go home to his mama and sit on the couch. His ass don't got no hunger. So when life whoop his ass, he going back to his mama. And that's who was shooting 300 shots at Capitol on Sunday night. Not no dudes who have accountability. It was cats who just want to do something because they want to do something. And that's the problem. You can't tell me, yes, a mother has a spot, absolutely, and a mom has a spot. We're talking about coaches. If I got 10 big dudes, and I got to make sure they understand, bro, go to class. I'm not playing with you. Which one would I pick? I'm going to pick a dude. If I got women and I got one dude trying to get 10 women, the problem is why don't men get to coach the women and women can't coach the women first? That should be the problem. That should be the question. How come in women's sports, men can dominate?
Okay.
So matter of fact, I got a question for you. I got a question. So you feel like women can compete in a man's sport with men, but they can't coach men? I don't understand it.
I'll tell you this, bro. No, I'm saying inspirationally, bro. Like we talking about coaching, bro. Coaching is you already know your sport. You got to listen, pay attention, be held accountable, right? If the whole entire sport looks one way, acts one way, feels one way, aggressive one way, and you opposite of that, you got to become like this though. We was talking transgender. Give me a Brittany Griner type, and maybe we can talk. Who's 6'10", who might have to knock a dude in the face. You know what I'm saying? It's going to take. What I'm saying is,
you have where you got to hit kids. What are we talking about?
No, we're talking about pro sports. I hate kids. Anybody say hit no damn kids. We're talking about pro sports.
Let's just be clear.
Pro sports, man. That's what I'm saying right now. That's what I'm saying. See that? That's what I'm saying right there.
Yeah.
Marshawn Lynch had to go tell that mom. Listen, I need to talk to your son the right way. He had to explain to the mom. Listen, that right there is an example I'm talking about. She told me to hit a kid. I can't talk about sports.
Out.
You see what I'm saying? Fuck out of here, bro.
You're right on that part. That one part, though, I give you that.
Okay.
Marshawn Lynch had you know what I'm saying, bro? Bro, if you want to win, like I'm telling you right now, bro, I'm not playing, bro. You got to be 100%.
Are you saying that in college and pro sports, coaches physically abuse their players to get them to perform?
No, the physical abuse part. What I was saying is this. Let me clarify that. If anybody else may have not understood that, let me clarify that. What I meant was, if you have a woman coach walk into an NBA locker room full of 6'10" dudes, and a 6'3" dude walk up to her and say, "Why you my coach?" And he say, why you here? She gonna have to stand up to this dude. Period. It can't be, oh, she a woman, get out of her face. So she gonna have to embody that toughness of a leader, of a general, the same way any military woman would do. Is what I'm trying to say, man. The same way a Navy SEAL, can a woman be a Navy SEAL? Hell yeah, she did it already. But I'm saying it's few and far between. And if you got to understand exactly that road that she would have to walk, then come on with it and say, yeah, that's what I'm going to talk about. But don't say she wouldn't have to go through all that stuff, because she absolutely would.
I like where this is going. Okay.
I'm in sports all day. I've coached against other women coaches, and I'm telling you right now, sometimes they get little. Treat them the same though. They shouldn't. You got to treat them the same, man. Team is saying, don't baby nobody. It's wrong. It's wrong to baby a woman coach, bro.
When I'm thinking of that, I'm not thinking of a male coach who may be more competitive than a female coach. But I'm my personal opinion, I'll take a female coach that's just as competitive as a male coach.
Fuck out of here.
Any day of the week. My personal opinion. That's my personal opinion.
Who does that?
I'm not an athlete. I don't have a background or experience.
Exactly. You're not an athlete, so you want a female coach. I'm not an athlete.
But if you think that coaching is physical, then I would say that you're probably in error. I think that it's a mental game, right? A person's ability, right? A person's ability to motivate.
It's motivational.
Yeah.
You're saying the same thing.
Yeah. So we know that in
who's motivating this podcast right now, bro? You see what I'm saying? That's the station I'm talking about. It's the same thing, bro. The passion right now in this little square, that's what I'm talking about. That's what you gotta have, dog. Right now, you feel like winning a Deep 16 and winning the game on Friday. Let's go, Larry.
Time out. Too much testosterone. I got it. Take it down a notch. I feel the passion. Here's my bigger point is we know that in other areas, in other aspects of particularly the business realm, we know that women are able to dominate in leadership positions. Why wouldn't women be able to dominate in the coaching arena? It's leadership. We're not talking about physicality.
Can I ask a question?
We're talking about time out. Don't interrupt. We're talking about leadership and ability to motivate. That is a leadership thing. That's transferable no matter what industry you're in. Correct?
True. Very true.
Okay. So if women can dominate in the business sector, what makes you think that they can't dominate in the male athlete?
Women dominate business?
Yeah. Women are considered
hold on. Women dominate business now?
Women on average are
Mr. Jizzle, are we really doing this?
I can't wait for the comments.
Women dominate CEO. Look at the top CEO. Are they women?
I'm gonna throw some statistics at you. I'm gonna throw some statistics at Talk 22 here. Women on average are considered more capable, have stronger competencies in management than average man. It's a fact.
We're talking about CEO positions, though. You said dominance means you got to actually show evidence. So not just what they think about and they capable. Who are the CEOs, bro?
Level. I'm not quite sure.
I'll tell you, bro. They ain't enough women CEOs. I agree with you. First of all, I run this clothing company. Women everywhere. I don't even like dudes around me. Get away from me. Right. Get away from me. I want women everywhere.
Right.
So I agree with you on that.
The fact that there's not enough women CEOs is a matter of the inequity in our society. Not
dominance, however. If you're not the CEO, you're not dominating.
I disagree on that. I definitely disagree.
It's a million billionaires. It's only 15 black. We ain't dominating black billionaires. Come on, bro. Dominate means dominate. Don't say why it ain't dominating. You ain't dominating. So you can't use that point. Women do not dominate business. They should have more. They just not doing it. I'm not saying it's not a problem. It's definitely a problem. But don't say they dominate business.
I think I need to clarify. I say in management positions, they are in management positions. We're not talking about owning a company. I think those are different dynamics, first of all. And I think that those dynamics have different variables.
CEO is management.
Time out. That are related to
two different things.
They're two different things because one in one environment you have the opportunity to be more competitive. In a bit, when it comes to business, there's a whole lot more variables. Anybody that's done business before knows there's way more variables. You need opportunity, you need luck, you need chance. You need something maybe sometimes passed down to you. That's what we talk about privilege. That's what we talk about. We talk about inequity in our environment. Is those things there that may prevent a female from being a CEO. But in a management position where the door is probably way more open to be competitive, women far outshine men statistically. And I'll bring up the data to prove.
You mean getting jobs?
Huh?
So you mean dominate by getting jobs?
Getting a management.
That's what you meant. I wish you would have said that. You said management position. Hold on.
You're marginalizing the definition.
No, hold on one second. Bro, go ahead.
One at a time.
Let me interject. You said They dominate. And we going back to the coaching, because that's what I want to get back to. But dominate don't mean getting hired, bro. That means you run it. You know what I'm saying?
You don't think managers run companies?
Managers get hired and fired, bro.
You don't think managers
get hired and fired? Hopefully your Packers got a manager that get hired and fired too. So managers get hired by the people who own the company. You are a worker. If you own it, you're an entrepreneur.
Let me stop you. Do managers run companies? It's a common sense question.
The workers run the company, bro. The managers get hired. The workers who touching the boxes, who making everything move, run the company. What are you talking about? Managers don't do nothing. Nobody like managers. Workers make the company go round. Amazon ain't, man, come on, bro.
CEO.
Come on, I own a company. I own a company. I worked for one of the biggest companies ever before, and I've seen the top managers and I know nothing about none of the products. Nothing. But the workers know everything. The workers who put all the hours in. So anybody who own a business know the people who do the business the most own the business. People at the top are picked. I don't give a damn about you can pick for a spot. If you made your own stuff from the bottom, I respect you. Like this, hear this? See this spotted cow? Woman made this drink, bro. I respect her. The person who worked at Miller who got hired, I don't give a damn.
Okay, I think we're getting off on a tangent here.
We went off on a tangent. I'm gonna let that rabbit hole go down the rabbit hole.
Now we're talking about spotted cow and we going.
Why shouldn't we?
Okay. So, all right, I'm gonna get into the next question here. I'm gonna go to Michelle here. I want to know from you. Okay, so should eligibility in sports be decided by state legislation in school sports organizations, or should parents or players have the opportunity to make that kind of decision? So like, I guess what I'm saying, should they even be able to make laws saying that you are banned from playing sports?
No. Our wonderful politicians and lawmakers should focus on legislation that helps improve our lives, and being worried about who's competing in middle school and high school and collegiate sports is way at the bottom of the totem pole, right? They shouldn't waste their time. Sounds bad. They shouldn't waste their time making that decision, right? That's something that should be decided, especially school-age kids, especially little kids, right? That should be something that should be decided locally, right? State legislation should not touch that. No way, no how. For example, right? Things happen all the time, right? For example, a baby is born, it's got both, okay? I say it because it's got both parts, right? Okay. And so when the baby is born, on the spot, mom and dad have to make a decision. Okay? Is it a boy or is it a girl, right? And so then, for example, they decide it's a boy, right? Okay. Now, let's say 10 years down the road, little Timmy says, I just don't feel like a Timmy, right? I might be a Mary, okay? Now, Mary wants to do swimming, okay? And Mary's parents have done it, consulted doctors and professionals, right? And they have transitioned Timmy to Mary, okay? And Mary's only 10, but because Mary was born Timmy, now 10-year-old Mary can't participate in swimming competitions. Why? What good is state legislation going to do for Mary? Why? How does Mary's parents tell her that something that's completely out of her control, right? And because of who she is, and that lawmakers made a law to keep her from the swim team. What good does that do our society? Why? So lawmakers need to stick to making legislation that's going to improve our lives, because I think we all can sit here right now and name 3 things that are way more significant in our society than genders playing sports in schools, right? So they just need to stay in their lane, and sports in schools is not one of them.
Okay. Bang, I want to hear from you on that same question. You know, I don't know if they should And should this be a legislature thing, or should this be up to the parents to decide, or is it up to the leagues to decide these type of things? What do you feel?
I feel like I want the government in my business as less as possible. As less as possible. So, of course not. They should be able to, create laws, when it comes to sports. You know what I'm saying? No, hell no. I feel like it should be up to the parents up until maybe college. Should be up to the parents up until college. And then college and the pros, it should be up to the organization. No, it should. The government should not be able to step in and create their own laws on something that maybe they don't even know a damn thing about. They, you know what I'm saying? They probably ain't never played basketball, football, or none of that. You know what I'm saying? To be, trying to create some laws on what we do on an everyday basis. That's just that. And I feel like they should have less power, just period, across the motherfucking board. Excuse my language. You know what I'm saying? But they always in some anyway. You know what I'm saying? And they, yeah, that's a whole nother subject. But yeah, keep them out of sport. Period.
I appreciate your thoughts on that. All right, LJ, Larry, I'm going to you on this same question, but I'm gonna ask it a different way. So let's say let's say you have a daughter, right? Mm-hmm. And your daughter wants to play sports, but there is that transgender player on the team, right? And let's say, like she said, swimming or something like that. They share the same locker room and whatnot. The team all is in the locker room together. You as a parent, do you feel then comfortable, or do you feel like it's up to legislation to help protect the situation from spiraling?
So I do have a daughter. She does want to play athletics. She wants to play basketball. And if she was in that situation, it would deeply concern me. It would deeply concern me. I don't, just because somebody professes a sexuality does not mean that, this is obviously this is a sensitive topic. You talk about a person's personal disposition. I would have an issue with that. That's just me personally. That may be because I have my own personal bias. Whatever you want to say it is, I'm going to have an issue with that, and I'm going to, and me personally, I want to challenge that. I do think that sometimes the government has to step in place to prevent things from blowing out of getting out of control, to create some form of balance in a situation that will lead to imbalance. I.e., a situation where the competitive, if we talk about transgenders, coming into these things here, it may be a situation where then they become competitively dominant. Well, that hasn't been an issue. It hasn't been an issue because it hasn't popped up as an issue because it hasn't taken place yet. But there's definitely a fear or a concern that when these individuals get in these sports, that they're going to be dominant, not because they're competitive, but because they have the physical advantage. And I think at the end of the day, that's the major concern. Is when these individuals go into these sports, are they going to have a physical competitive advantage? If they are, yes, put laws in place that allow my daughter to be competitive so she can get a scholarship without feeling like her ability to be competitive with females of the same stature and physical composition. I want her to be competitive with individuals that have the same type of physical composition as her. And I struggle. That would be a struggle of mine. My daughter wants to play basketball. This is definitely is a topic that it's a sore foot. Do I want her to be competing against a person who may be transgender, knowing that they may have a physical competitive advantage? And every time that person scores on an individual, I'll be like, oh well, they got physical. I may pop it back by anyways. It's probably too much language there.
All right, got you. All right, so last but not least, Cheddar, I'm giving you the last word on it. We're looking at the legislation that they're trying to put together in several different states based off of this, transgender situation playing in sports. Like I stated, let's say you have a daughter and, she's playing in the sports and whatnot. A lot of times these laws are created to help protect situations as well. So to play devil's advocate, I want to know from you, do you feel like a law should be in place to help protect situations like these things from happening, or do you think it should be up to the parents or the leagues to come up with their own agendas when it comes to transgenders playing in sports?
I say it. First of all, you okay, Larry? You okay, man? Coughing, bro. I was worried about you. I was worried about everybody looking at him like he ain't saying nothing. Y'all rude as hell. You okay, man? Anyway, what I want to say is this: whoever owns a school has to be ready for the litigation. If you own a school and you let people play other people and they get hurt, you liable unless they sign something. So I say, you know what? Whoever runs that school decides what happens in that school. But I think logic should run everything, and there's a reason why there's weight classes in boxing, right? Mm-hmm. Weight classes in boxing, they're all men, but they have different weights, and the reason is because the big guy can probably knock out the little tiny guy, and we don't want to see that. We want to protect that person. So your job is to protect these young people. So that's what you better do. I'm 39. I don't got to worry about this kind of stuff. I like to claim ignorance. Michelle made a scenario that was absolutely highlighting the fact that I don't know what I'm talking about, and I just want to learn. So I think this topic is one that should be expanded upon and enlightened, because that scenario, all I could think of was Sierra. That's all I could think of. I said, what if Sierra? You know what I mean? Everybody knows about Sierra. Anyway, yeah, that's what I would say is that let the state. Maury Mizzle, you know about Sierra. Let's keep it real. Anyway, yeah, let the state make the call on that one.
Okay.
Somebody, y'all bogus. See, y'all supposed to keep it 100 on 22. And all these boxers know about Sierra. We all go back.
We appreciate that.
All y'all bogus for that one. I'm sending license suspensions to all 5 of y'all. Y'all not doing this to me, man.
I don't know.
His thought
you in music. You know all about Sierra.
22.
You just said Sierra. I don't know who you talking about, bro.
Michelle story, and then link it to Sierra. You know what I'm saying? See, Larry, see, I know Larry. Feel me?
We is going down a rabbit hole here.
Yeah, we are.
Rabbit hole. I'm just saying. All I'm saying is the story. I like this kind of stuff because what the problem is people don't get to say I don't know, and you should be able to say I don't. Like the answer you asked me, none of us gets. Like, I don't know. I don't know, and that's okay to be like I don't know. Too many of us want to say I'm on this side, I'm on that side, and forget them. Michelle made a story and made me feel like I feel bad for that person. You see what I'm saying? But then Larry made a story and say, go away from his daughter. You see what I'm saying? So it's all the emotion that got me feeling some type of way. So I feel like the conversation, this is good to have, and hopefully the listeners who too scared to chat in right now can have this conversation with their friends.
Yes. We thank you for that. We thank you for that. So yes, we definitely want your comments. Please leave your comments in the comment section. But
Larry,
we're gonna wrap it up at this point.
Larry
Thank you for joining the program, everybody. Today we have on the line, we have Bang. Bang, let them know where they can find you, please.
Yo, y'all can holler at me at bang2real.net. All my social media links on there.
All right, thank you for joining the program, Bang. As well, we have Cheddar State. Cheddar State, please let them know where they can find you.
Hit me on IG at Mr. Cheddar State, Cheddar State brand on Facebook, and cheddarstate.com if you want to buy a nicely priced, cheap hoodie or something like that. It's nice, though. It's nice. You might like it, something like that. But this is a pleasure and an honor. I'm sorry for the terrible Wi-Fi. Somebody's getting fired tonight. I guarantee you.
Appreciate you. As well, we have Larry on the show. Larry, please let them know where they can find you, sir.
You can find me Instagram, Facebook at J4BG brand, website www.j4bg.org, where you can find out more about what I do, what I have done in the community. So yeah.
We thank you. Thank you for joining the program. And last but not least, we have Michelle. Thank you for being so brave and joining these fellas. We thank you for that.
I had a great time. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Thanks for the invite. If you ever get so bored, it's Trishelle Forge on Instagram.
We thank you. Thank you for that, Michelle, as well. And once again, you've been listening to Radio 22's Talk 22. I'm your host, Mizzle to the Jizzle. Until next time, y'all, peace.